Number one, study with the recommended textbook at the Nigerian Law School. I don't know why you are using something else. The lecturers at the Nigerian Law School already have textbooks that they've written. In line with the Nigerian Law standard, recall that it is the NLS that would mark your questions. So why are you using a material written by a non-NLS lecturer, non-recommended materials, non-recommended textbooks? Why? Except those materials are on all fours with the NLS standard, you should leave them alone. Please. I'll do a video on recommended textbooks at the NLS. I'm going to run a video on the textbooks I recommended that I have, but each lecturer usually gives you or lists out some textbooks that you should work with for their course. So I encourage you to stick to NLS recommended materials. That's your first step to studying right. This is to avoid misinformation. Read the topic before you get into the class. The first time you understand anything about a topic or you hear about a topic should not be in the main class. How do you do this? Usually a pre-class work is sent out before the main class. So the pre-class consists of questions that you are expected to answer, and those questions flow from the topic that will be taught that day. Answer those questions yourself. Of course, your groups are expected to answer those questions and submit a group work. So most times, persons just depend on the group leaders or the group members to do this. No, this is wrong. Attempt those questions as a group or on your own. Make sure that you answer those questions in paper. Example, I used to answer my questions in paper. I always answered my questions in paper. In writing, because my exams, I always knew that my exams were going to be in writing, so I made sure that my answers were in writing as well. If you see the pre-class, you will be tempted to just verbalize the answer. So force yourself to get a pen, your paper, it could be your note or whatever. Answer those questions in writing. You could have an idea of a thing in your head, but when you are asked to put it down, you find out that it is difficult to conceptualize that thought in a proper way. So attempt your pre-classes yourself before you get into the class, and thereby you have also read the topic before you get into the class. This will make the main lecture more or less a revision, and also for you to clarify some loose ends that were not cleared when you were reading. Another thing that will help you as an NLS student is never to miss your classes. So persons saying the classes are just there, I will read on my own. No, you think you will read on your own, but you may get carried away. Whatever you hear from your lecturer's mouth is as important as what you read later. So attend your classes with earnest, with dedication. And when you are there, don't be distracted. Do not allow yourself to be distracted. Pay attention in the class. Make sure that you understand the things that the lecturers are saying, the exceptions. Just make sure that your attention is 100 on the class. After the class, you can still read. Now, create a schedule that works for you. Create a schedule that works for you. Create a study schedule that works for you. I created one that worked for me, and I have worked for so many students that have used it. So create a schedule that works for you and ensure that you focus on the topics that you do not understand. So one mistake that students make is that they go and start reading the topic that they already understand, and then they are scared of the ones that they do not understand. No. Make sure that you are repeating topics by yourself so that you can understand the ones that you do not understand and continue to revise the ones that you already understand. So create a schedule that works for you. If you are a day reader, maximize your daytime. If you are a night reader, still use your day and maximize your night. Sleep in the day and then maximize your night. Don't deceive yourself if you are not a night reader. If you are not a night reader, maximize your daytime. I see persons who say, I can't read at night. But then during the day when they are alert, they are playing, they are pressing their phones, they are jumping from one place to the other. Then at night they'll say, I can't read, and they sleep off. Be truthful to yourself. If you cannot read at night, then during the day, you should be able to maximize, as in back to back maximization of the day. Then at night, you close your books, have your shower, and sleep. Why are you not asking questions that you don't understand in class? In Abuja campus, If you don't want to ask questions, maybe raise your hand and stuff like that, you can write. They have this avenue where you put your questions in writing and send it to the lecturer. After the class, the lecturer will read the questions and attempt all questions that were sent to them. So don't say I'm shy or I don't want them to see me. You have no excuse. Also, you can also meet your lecturers after class. In fact, some of my questions, if the class it was so long and stuff, I reserve them after the classes. I meet the lecturers immediately, or I may meet them elsewhere, because my lecturers were also on campus with me. So I could meet them on the way, I could meet them in churches, I could meet them wherever. And then or even in their offices, I'll take permission and then go ahead and ask the questions I do not understand. But anything that you don't understand must be clarified. Apart from your lecturers, you can also ask your classmates. So over time, you would know these classmates that are okay, that know what they're doing. So you can always meet them and say, please, can you tell me this? Can you clarify this on me? Never leave any unanswered questions unanswered. Make sure you clarify everything that is bothering you before you get into the exam hall. This one is even more like this one should have even been number one, but I decided to lay a foundation first. You cannot do NLS without the NLS past question, because that is their standard. That is where they are working from. So ensure that you are reading. After reading, you test your knowledge with the past questions. Because we want to say, I have read interlocutory applications. So yeah, you can ask me. No. You test that knowledge that you have acquired while during reading by answering past questions. And don't get yourself worked up. If you do not understand, if you fail, take your corrections and move on. I tell myself I am willing to fail easily outside the exam hall than to fail in the exam hall. I prefer to fail outside the exam hall. That is, I prefer to fail when I'm trying out the past questions than to wait until I get to the exam hall to realize that what I thought I knew, I didn't know. So make sure that you maximize your past questions. Get them, use the marking scheme. Or if you don't have a marking scheme, still try yourself and answer. Then when you do not understand anyone, ask your lecturers or your classmates, but do not study without the past questions.